Looking for a new way to grow your business? With TikTok for Business, anything is possible. If you've ever thought about advertising on TikTok, now's the time to do it. You can drive more customers to your website, sell products right in the app, and you can even use TikTok's creative tools to easily make content and find creators to help sell your products for you. Find new customers today. Just open your browser, type in getstarted.tiktok.com/TikTok ads, and grow your business fast.
Come to DSW for the shoes, stay for the fun. Because, let's be honest, if shoe shopping isn't fun, are you even doing it right? So go ahead, try something new. Try something different. Good different. Try something that feels like you. You know, the real you. And then definitely brag about it later. Because at DSW, you've got unlimited freedom to play. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or at DSW.com. Let us surprise you.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Apple Card members can earn unlimited daily cash back on everyday purchases, wherever they shop. This means you could be earning daily cash on just about anything, like a slice of pizza from your local pizza place or a latte from the corner coffee shop. Apply for Apple Card in the Wallet app to see your credit limit offer in minutes. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
You can support this podcast at patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and this is Crime Writers On. Crime Writers On is the original true crime review podcast that digs into true crime, pop culture, other podcasts. And on this episode, can the world's greatest detective solve the case of a priest murdered in his own church? Benoit Blanc is back in Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. Joining me to get that done and more is true crime author, TV journalist, and host of These Are Their Stories podcast, my husband and the love of my life, Kevin Flynn. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Rebecca.
Also with us, private investigator, certified pet detective, resident cat lady, and author of The Final Curtain, Laura Bricker. Hi, Laura.
Hey, I just got some brand new cat pajamas. My friend Jen gave them to me for Christmas. I'll wear them here next time.
Wow, that's the cat's pajamas.
They are the cat's pajamas. They're very soft.
I love that expression.
Did you get this for 1926 instead of 2026?
No, I got them for 2026, and I'm going to wear them when I go places now.
And finally...
You'll be the bee's knees, Laura Bricker.
I'll tell you, I was just telling Kevin, well, let me just introduce Toby, okay?
Yeah.
And finally, our captain of all things cynical, author of the City Trilogy, host of Rip Current, More Like Ancient Aliens, soon to be a major motion picture, Strange Arrivals, and our Patreon Deep Dive Book Club podcast, Toby Ball. Hola, Toby.
Hola, Rebecca.
So, Kevin, this is Monday's show.
Mm-hmm.
What's coming up on Thursday's program?
On Thursday, we're going to talk about the podcast Crimeless, Hillbilly Heist.
All right.
I have it written as Hilly-Billy Heist. That's a different one.
But that would be a whole different kind of podcast.
It's a Hilly-Billy Heist, yeah.
Can you do your 1920s voice a little more, please?
Do it you like the newsreel?
Yes.
Okay. Dateline, New Hampshire. People are getting ready to talk about podcasting. It's like the radio, except it's in your ears and your telephone.
So, Laura, I was just telling Kevin before we started that I go to the manicure place once every couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And almost all the women who go there are all wearing like some version of pajamas. I always feel like I'm the only person who got dressed in the morning when I go there. And I don't understand what that phenomenon is all about. But you can wear your cat's pajamas to this in Concord, New Hampshire, and you will fit right in.
Okay, well, that's great. I will wear them with like my fake Ugg boots, and I won't even have to put on like real shoes when I go there.
Exactly. That's what everyone does. That's how, except you see me in my blazer.
Yeah,
all
looking
like
all sharp.
Spiffed out. I don't really fit in.
Well, do you think those folks are maybe they're like they're going to go like to the tanning salon immediately afterwards? That's why they've
all
got
of
their
them.
Yeah,
every single one of them.
Do they look tan?
Some of them do. Some of them look like they go to the tanning salon.
There you go.
Are they young?
No, for the most part, no. Some of them are.
UNH is like during the winter. It's like
Pajama City.
Yeah, it's pajamas and like Uggs with a down jacket.
Yeah, this place is more like horrible leggings or pajamas, imitation Uggs, and some sort of puffer coat. And it looks like there was no plan to go outside that day, but they did anyway. And I know I'm always show up and I'm like, I'm very overdressed for this place. I don't understand.
I just got some fleece-lined winter leggings, so perhaps I could also wear those.
The best. The very, very best.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, I have my emotional support dog on my lap.
Yeah, this dog keeps getting into the studio, but...
He's just a pet. He's not really an emotional support. Although it does provide me with emotional support when we tape.
He looks like a pillow right now, the way you're massaging him.
I know. Yeah. He's wonderful. He's a wonderful boy. Yeah. All right, should we talk about the thing we're supposed to be talking
Let's
about?
talk about that, yeah.
All right, leading off.
I guess to tell the story of the Good Friday murder through my eyes, I gotta start here. 9 months ago, when this asshole deacon said something way out of line, and I did this.
After being transferred to a new church, Father Jud Duplenticy meets the mercurial Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, a domineering priest whose parish is filled with secrets. But when Wicks is murdered while alone in a closet in front of his most ardent parishioners, authorities bring in noted private detective Benoit Blanc to solve the case.
Let me help you. How? This was dressed as a miracle. It's just a murder, and I solve murders.
Blanc and Father Jud dig into Wicks' past and his relationships with his followers to solve a quintessential closed-door mystery. The detective and the priest discover the murder is only part of a larger puzzle of deceit, wealth, and power.
You said if you had all the pieces, you would have an answer.
I know. And yet, with all the pieces on the table, this crime still truly appears impossible.
Daniel Craig and Josh O'Connor lead an all-star cast in Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, now on Netflix. The sequel forces the renowned private eye and the earnest priest to join forces and sift through a bevy of suspects that include the church secretary, a drunk doctor, a failed politician, a high-strung lawyer, and a struggling novelist. The film covers themes of morality, faith, and greed, wrapped in a classic whodunit throwback the Knives Out series is known for. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about plot points from Wake Up Dead Man. So if you want to remain spoiler-free, go to the estimated time code in our show notes for our thumbs up or thumbs down reviews. Now, Laura, I really didn't care for the last Knives Out movie. It was very over the top, very full-throated, very bombastic in many ways. This was so different. It almost felt like it came from a different franchise.
Yeah, I was like really not looking forward to watching this because I was like, I can't remember why I didn't like the last one. And then I looked it up and I was like, okay, it was on that like private island. And it was just like you said, really over the top and just sort of in your face.
They burned the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. And this one, I was like, this felt cozy. It had this cozy British mystery feel to me. Like if I was watching like Midsummer Murders, but a little bit more comical, something like that. It's got, quirky characters, the priest who's like, kind of like fire and brimstone. You've got a likable assistant priest who comes in who ends up really, to me, becoming the protagonist of the story. But it didn't feel like the last one where I was like, this is just not something I want to watch. This was like, this is something I might actually watch, even though I didn't realize it was almost 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
I realized that.
I didn't even notice that. I was like, this is just kind of like a cozy journey. And yes, okay, it's a little gross how the man got murdered, but it's cozy. They're in a church.
Don't worry, Toby, we'll get to you. You'll have your chance. Kevin, there's other ways in which this is unlike the first two movies, right?
Yeah, I think like in the other two movies, Benoit Blanc is not nearly as present in this one, nor we don't see him as somebody who's like possessed with these extraordinary abilities of detection, right? I mean, if you remember in The Glass Onion, it was like there was this scene where there's going to be like this murder mystery party all around the dinner table, and he solves it within 3 seconds and ruins things because he's just so good. We didn't really see that character here.
We had no demonstration of his brilliance, right?
No demonstration of his brilliance, right?
We have all the pieces laid out before us now.
We do.
Consider the origin of the devil's head, the red thread, the clanky clunk, the timing of the RF remote. It all lines up.
So give us the answer.
I can't.
He's largely absent from the first act of the film, and he's more like a sidekick to Father Jud, which is, as Laura said, seems like he's actually the main character in this, and that's great because at some point we'll have to talk about Josh O'Connor.
Yeah. So, Toby, this felt long to you, this film?
It felt extremely long. I had to stop and take a nap and take a couple days before I finished it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for the first hour I was watching this, I was like, oh man, like this might be the first one that I actually like. And it was about the time I thought that things started to deteriorate. And then I was like, oh, fuck. And then I was just like, I kept like hitting something on the remote just so I could see how much time was left. And then I saw it was like 45 minutes left. I was like, dude, I can't do it. I can't make it. And so I stopped and I came back a couple days later and watched the rest of it. But it did lead me, like, in all honesty, I was thinking while I was watching, like, probably the last hour and a quarter of it, I was like, why does everybody love this? And I find it such a chore to get through.
Yeah, why? You have an anti-Daniel Craig mentality.
No, I like Daniel Craig. Like, I liked Layer Cake. I liked his James Bond movies. Like, I like him. But, one time I went to Canopy Lake with my buddy and our daughters, and there was a Styx cover band. And I can't wait to hear where this is going. I was watching the Styx cover band, and they weren't just doing Styx, like they would fire up some Journey or some REO Speedwagon or something. But the whole time it was just like this cover band, and they were like kind of lame reproductions of like what the originals were.
That's what a cover band generally is.
And I kind of feel that way with Benoit Blanc, is that it's like he's kind of taking all these different like sort of cozy mystery people from like the 20s and 30s and sort of putting them forward in this like kind of bland, like idiosyncratic, but for its own sake kind of way. Those other like Hercule Poirot and some of the other Agatha Christie, why doesn't this measure up to that stuff at all? And I've got some thoughts, which we can talk about later, but that was kind of my experience of this.
Are you more a come sail away man or a Babe man when it comes to Styx?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can do without Babe. I like Come Sail Away. I like the fact that you don't really know what the song is about, and then suddenly it becomes about UFOs.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? Wait, hold on a second. I thought this was like Unrequited Love or something.
Yeah. Laura, what were you about to say?
Oh, I was going to say, Toby, I mean, the thing is, like, I think for me, I appreciate Benoit Blanc for what he is. I don't try to see something, but his voice, I get to sit there and listen to it all day. I'm like, it's just so soothing. It's relaxing. I'm like, oh, somebody got murdered, but it doesn't matter. Oh, somebody got tossed in a vat of green slime and disintegrated. It doesn't matter. His voice is just so calm.
I find it like refreshing that they have a smart person with a Southern accent, which you don't typically see in a lot of media. Like it's not the stereotypical character that's developed as soon as you hear that voice. So we have a really big cast here. We've got Daniel Craig, as we mentioned. We've got Josh O'Connor as Father Jud. We've got Glenn Close, Oscar winner Glenn Close as Martha. Josh Brolin as Monsignor Thanos Jefferson Wicks.
Monsignor Thanos.
Jeremy Renner, also from the extended Marvel Universe. Kerry Washington from that movie about the mail.
We would deliver the mail.
Andrew Scott, a.k.a. Hot Priest. And, of course, Mila Kunis as Geraldine Scott. Mila Kunis seemed a little bit out of place in this cast, in my opinion. Laura, what did you think about the casting of this, and what did you think about the performances?
This was fun. I liked the casting. I liked the way that we have this as a locked door mystery, but that we roll out this cast of characters, this cast of suspects before we even see the murder or hear about the murder. And it's like, and here are our suspects, and we roll them out. You know, the guy who's making TikToks and videos of everything. We see the lead up to the doctor's wife leaving, and now he's disintegrating into a bottle. We see the musical protege in the wheelchair who thinks she's going to be cured. We hear about their story leading into this, but all of them, the one I love the most is Glenn Close as Martha. There is something about that type of a character, that sort of pious, holier-than-thou character that you're like, right from the beginning. I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler to be like, oh, she's going to be, I hope she's the murderer. Because you just love to hate her because she's got that attitude towards everybody else. I know Toby probably hated this part, but I loved her dramatic retelling of the harlot whore or whatever it was.
The harlot whore.
Yes, the harlot whore. That was Wick's mother.
Okay, so what's the deal with that?
She was a harlot and a whore.
Okay.
I was like, this is just so fun. So, it was a fun cast of characters. A lot of characters to keep track of. I will say that. Like some of them, I'm like, who was that person again? I'm like, I don't know. I just make up nicknames for people.
Yeah. Dude from Bad Sisters was in it.
Yeah.
Kevin, Josh O'Connor is a great actor. He's been in tons of things. We recently saw him in Challengers, the tennis film.
He was the young Prince Charles.
He was Prince Charles in The Crown. He was like the young adult Prince Charles in The Crown. He's wonderful. Do you think he's good in this?
Oh my God, I think he steals the show.
And the rites and rituals and costumes, all of it. It's storytelling. You're right. Guess the question is, do these stories convince us of a lie? Or do they resonate with something deep inside us that's profoundly true? That we can't express any other way except storytelling.
His performance, kind of just seemed like warm, and he seemed authentic as Father Jud. I mean, it's not just his performance. The movie is written well with him as the lead as opposed to Benoit Blanc. So you needed somebody that could carry the film, both a character and somebody that could pull it off and that you could, be rooting for. And he does it here. I mean, I think that all the praise that he's gotten in other places is well deserved. And he was good on Saturday Night Live. And take his bow for that. But I mean, I think that this is kind of a star-making turn for him, at least in a lot of people's minds. He did a great job. And I did enjoy the way that this character was written. He wasn't overly pious. He wasn't overly
tough.
He was eager. But yeah, he wasn't overly tough. He wasn't, I thought he was a really good representation of sort of like the modern, approachable, humanistic priest. And I also liked what it had to say about faith, about the message and meaning of Jesus. When you have like these sort of two different views, you get, is he the punisher that Wicks is like always yelling about from the pulpit in his homilies, or is he the redeemer and the inspiration for goodness in the community? And that's sort of like Father Jud's position here, is that like he wants to help people. He's not intimidated by the modern world. He feels like the church should confront it and be part of it. And this is not a theme that generally gets, woven into a murder mystery, but I liked how they did it. It was good here,
Yeah. I'll say, for those who haven't seen Challengers with Domhnall Gleeson, Josh O'Connor, and Zendaya, it is not a tennis movie. It is a sex movie with tennis in it, is what that movie is. I think so. Toby, you have a note here that you really enjoyed Josh Brolin in this. The guy who lies during confession is our sort of stand-in for some of the political themes of the movie. What do you like about Josh Brolin?
He does a lot of scene chewing. I imagine that when he read the part, he was like, this is going to be pretty fun. He's got kind of a crazy haircut, too. You needed to have somebody to make this movie work who seemed sort of strong and bombastic and egotistical and sure of his own righteousness. And, Josh Brolin just gives you that. It was like the kind of thing where it's kind of hard to imagine anybody else playing the part. So for me, that was like one of the, like, he's not likable in the slightest, but he's got some pretty good scenes. Like, I thought some of the more enjoyable scenes were, where he's trying to like kind of unnerve the younger priest, and he's like talking about how much he masturbates and stuff.
This week in my bed, in the morning once in the shower, standing up, which was convenient. Just use the bath gel. Oh, once in the middle of the night after a dream about...
That's all right.
About one of those Japanese cat cafes.
Okay.
Like, I thought that was a good scene, both because it's kind of funny, but it also kind of conveys a certain kind of way that some men try to unnerve and assert dominance over other men through that kind of thing. In a movie that I generally didn't really like, I thought that scene was excellent and very well written and very well acted. And also in a movie that's not trying to portray itself as being like realism, I guess I would say, like that had this kind of whiff of like things that I've experienced or that I've seen and felt very real to me. So I thought that was excellent.
I have a friend that went to seminary and is a priest. Father Eric, hi Father Eric. I know you're not listening, but he actually talked about like when they go through training and they're talking about like taking confession, they sort of have a contingency plan for specifically that, because he said that there are sometimes people that get in and they understand that they are using that experience as a way to, I don't want to say get off, but they know what they're doing. They're getting, sort of a gratification from sort of using the captive audience there. And so they actually have, talk about like, well, how do you handle that and sort of get him to the absolution part, move it along like that. So I was like, that's kind of funny. We won't jerk you around though if you join us on Patreon.
No, we won't.
We won't.
It's a pretty high level.
We won't spunk in your magazine.
Oh.
No, we'll leave your magazine absolutely
But we do have
alone.
socks at our merch shop.
Yeah. And then you can learn the thing with the hand backwards, I guess, whatever.
Laura
Bricker.
Fellow mother of son right there.
Oh, my goodness. If you join us at patreon.com/Partners in Crime Media, you get all sorts of exclusive content, including the Crime Writers on After Show. I got a big surprise for you guys this week.
Oh, my God.
And I'll say that, like, we have the audio, but we're also going to put the video up on Patreon because you might want to see this.
It's a visual
I want to show
story.
you the gift that I got Rebecca. I surprised Rebecca with for our anniversary.
Yeah. Our anniversary.
Well,
Yes.
I mean,
we're not. Yeah.
It was Christmas, but I was
it's
also...
such a big gift.
Anyway.
I think it is for both.
Yeah, it's for both of us.
It's such a big gift.
Other exclusive content include Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast. The latest book that the panel has discussed is By the Fire We Carry. We also have the Marry With Podcast, Advice Podcast, Rebecca's look at the court system in Something's Off with Mel Barrett.
Audio version.
We also have, at the Bricker scale level, an additional exclusive podcast. It's Laura Bricker's Leave It to Bricker, in which Laura Bricker solves murders. Jesus,
That would be incredible.
She solves mysteries, or at least mysteries to her in her quaint AF town of Exeter, New Hampshire. If you come in at the Let's Do What We Do level, you get episodes of Crime Writers on early and ad-free. And if you're a deep diver, you get all that. And you are an official sponsor of Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast.
Toby Ball's Deep Dive Book Club podcast.
Hey, another thing we ask you to do is why don't you sign up for our newsletter? It's absolutely free. It comes out every Thursday. You go to crimewriterson.com, put in your email address. You'll get all sorts of things like summaries of our reviews, Crime Writers on behind the scenes. You'll get to see the post of the week and the cat of the week and the crime of the week. And you also get to see new merch. We are announcing right now some new merch, everybody. We have, in honor of Toby's relocation to Valencia, Spain, you can now purchase t-shirts, sweatshirts,
Tote bags. Beautiful on a tote bag.
and even socks that say Tu gato es elegante.
That's right.
Because as we know, it's the only phrase that Toby knew as he was...
It comes in use, a lot of
Useful,
use
yeah.
here in Spain. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you make friends.
I just walk around
Toby
saying
was
it to
real
people.
prepared when he went to Spain, let me tell you.
He was so prepared.
I was at the post office today, man. I did
He was
negotiate
super
some
prepared
stuff.
to learn to get paid.
You had to negotiate stuff at the post office?
Well, I had to hand over a form and just hope she wasn't going to ask me any questions about it.
She knew better.
And then she
took one
said
look and was
ID,
like,
and I realized that she meant identification, and I handed her my passport.
Yes.
And I got the hell out of there.
There you go. Sounds perfect. So those are all great ways that you could support us, keep the show going.
All right, Kevin, does thus end our business section?
Thus ends the business section.
Let's go ahead and fade that music out right now.
TikTok for Business is helping owners like you reach new customers every day.
We saw up to a 10x return on our TikTok shop ads. A few years ago, I started sharing my love for fashion on social media, and Willow Boutique was born. We're not just a place to shop, we've really become a community. TikTok allows us to find more people to have that great experience. I cannot imagine my business without TikTok. It's completely changed my life, and I could not be happier.
Head over to getstarted.tiktok.com/TikTok ads.
Come to DSW for the shoes, stay for the fun. Because, let's be honest, if shoe shopping isn't fun, are you even doing it right? So go ahead, try something new. Try something different. Good different. Try something that feels like you. You know, the real you. And then definitely brag about it later. Because at DSW, you've got unlimited freedom to play. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or at DSW.com. Let us surprise you.
A BetterHelp ad. The new year doesn't need a new you, just some space to let your mind feel lighter. Therapy can help you unpack what's been heavy and bring more clarity, calm, and perspective into 2026. BetterHelp makes it easy to match online with a qualified therapist who can help you see things more clearly and move forward with confidence. See for yourself. Visit BetterHelp.com for 10% off your first month.
So, Laura, there's a very quirky little side character in this, and it's the star of Somebody Somewhere, who works at the excavator company that somebody called in order to open up that crypt, a little side plot. What did you think about that?
I think that was one of the best scenes. Number one, it was super relatable because I find myself getting in those situations on the phone all the time. And I'm like, oh, here we go again.
People unburdening themselves to you?
Oh, yes, all the time. But this was a great, you see Reverend Jud. He calls to get the information about who set up this job to be done. And this woman starts going on and on and on about, somebody that's dying and her family. I think it was like her mother or something. And you see Jud step into the role of the priest and actually, finding his place in that church. And it's like this lengthy conversation. It's getting dark. Things are happening.
Father, I'm feeling pretty alone right now.
I'm so sorry, Louise. You're not alone. I'm right here. I'm here. Can you tell me your mother's name?
But it was like one of those things where you're like, where is this going? And of course, that after he has, given her all this time and counseled her appropriately, that she's going to go out of her way to get him the information immediately, which she does. I enjoyed that scene because I was like, oh, where is this going? Because I'm like, first of all, like, who made the call? Who set up the appointment? And then when you see the size of that crypt, you're like, whoa, that was not a small job by any stretch of the imagination.
But one of the things that sort of endears the audience to Father Jud is that you believe that that's 100% authentic, right? If you saw Zoe from down Cemetery Road all of a sudden see an opportunity to make like an emotional connection with somebody in need like that, you'd be like, oh, well, she's playing an angle, right? And I feel like this is an example of like, for him, he made that the priority in that moment. Like he put the murder whole thing aside because this was somebody that needed him and he felt like this was his calling. And so that makes him a very likable character.
I'll say, if anybody in the audience has not watched Somebody Somewhere, starring Bridget Everett and Jeff Hiller, who just made a cameo in Pluribus, I was thrilled to see him.
He won the Emmy Award for this.
You must watch the show. It is fucking fantastic television show. Beautifully made, very, very heartfelt. It's just wonderful in every way.
Mary Catherine Garrison is in it, and she was the second voice in the first season of Rip Current.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's extremely nice person as well.
Who does she play in that?
She plays the sister.
The best character in the whole show, a.k.a.
Cunt pillows.
She's the best. She's my favorite. The best character arc of any character I've seen in recent memory. So, Toby, one of the things that this is missing, which is something we often complain about in shows, is this sort of like marching through suspects as we go. And we've seen many shows lately where we're like, well, it couldn't be that person because we thought it was that person in episode 2, or we thought it was that person in episode 3. It's way too early. What did you think of sort of the lack of that device here?
Well, I think I think one of the issues I had with the movie in general is that the sort of suspects, they're like barely sketched. It kind of felt like to me. I mean, they seem like they're basically like 2-sentence people. And then I was thinking, like something like Murder on the Orient Express, it's not like those characters were more complex, but I think there was tensions, there was degrees of prestige and not prestige. There was like this sort of shorthand in which you could see how they related to each other. And in this, like, my sense was that they all were basically friends and that there was very little conflict or anything between them except for Kerry Washington and Josh Brolin's illegitimate son. So in some ways I was like, well, where's the red herrings? Like these things generally go where you suspect somebody and then it turns out it's not them. You suspect somebody else, turns out it's not them. But there wasn't any point at which I felt as though I had much of a sense of who any of these people were besides sort of their professional descriptions or whatever. So that even if you had been casting like this person did it or this person did it. It's like, that's fine. I don't care. Which is why it seemed like it had to be Glenn Close, because she was really the only person who seemed like she had much of a story that you could kind of point to. I just kind of felt like there's a bunch of very good actors who were just kind of like, okay, you're going to be a writer. It's like, oh, okay. What do I do? I wear
underutilized.
I wear a sweater. Yeah. Is that what I do? And just like act annoyed a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So it's weird. Like it kind of felt like Rian Johnson like wrote a short story about two priests and was just like, oh fuck, I should put this in my thing, because it doesn't really fit. Like the real story doesn't seem to me to fit very easily in the whole Knives Out kind of formula. And I think we've talked about reasons why. It's like Benoit Blanc isn't really part of it. It doesn't really follow a lot of the sort of the cozy mystery type things of like, it was this person, it was that person, it was the other person. It's really about these other things, and then you've layered on this sort of formula for these movies on top of it. And in some ways I was just like, well, why don't we just have the movie about these priests? Why do we have to go through all these other things when sort of the nut of it, as I think everybody has basically said, is really the sort of conflict between sort of a young idealistic humanist priest and this sort of fire and brimstone, extremely conservative, like egomaniac priest. And that, you know, you can make a good movie about that.
Yeah, but you can't make a good murder mystery with that. And I think probably the solution to the problem that you raise here is to make a better cast of supporting characters, or at least flesh them out some more. Because you're right. I mean, who doesn't love Andrew Scott?
I love him.
You know, but like, did they really give him a lot to work with here?
No.
Same with Jeremy Renner.
I don't love him.
I mean, you're right. Glenn Close had the best story, but nobody had a really good motive. Right? You always build this up so that the victim is somebody that everybody hates, and you could see any of them killing, and he's super hateable, except he's surrounded by people that adore him, until you get to sort of like this, you know, this scene where he disavows everybody. But it's like, what motive did Jeremy Renner really have for killing him? Like that wasn't like really... Not wasn't clear. It wasn't like sort of believable.
Anyway.
It wasn't really explored. And the reason that I didn't like guess it, but the reason why I thought Glenn Close's character could have been the killer is because when he, disavows everybody, he doesn't disavow her.
Yeah.
Right. And that's sort of like, well, I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
But the doctor helped.
The doctor helped, right? And
he did the stabbing.
Yeah, and so
which isn't nothing.
And so did the caretaker and all this other stuff. And so the how is interesting because again, part of this happens to be not only a closed door murder, but a closed door resurrection, and like those things are interesting. But like you're right, Toby, they just really didn't do a lot with the other characters, and that's part of the thing that they try to build this Knives Out franchise on, is that you've got this brilliant detective and a room full of quirky characters, and while they were quirky, they really didn't give them enough to do, certainly not enough to keep up with Father Jud.
Laura?
Well, I was going to say, when we find out at the end that this other character is his son, like you could have dropped that earlier on. And that could have been a very good, like there could have been something about him not being around when he was young and something horrible that happened. And he's here to he's figured out who he was and he's going to avenge his circumstances because he was abandoned by the priest. Like there's things they could have worked with to drum up that suspense in a way that, like I pretty much, like I said before, I right in the beginning, I'm like, oh, it's got to be this Martha character because we want to hate her.
Yeah.
But I think there were other characters they could have dropped some more backstory on sooner that would have felt more believable.
Yeah. I do like Daryl McCormack, by the way. He was in Bad Sisters. He plays the son in this. And I thought this movie was very ham-fisted in the way it dealt with politics, except I did love the scene where he was like, I've tried everything.
Believe me, I hammered the race thing, I hammered the gender thing, the trans thing, the border thing, the homeless thing, the war thing, the election thing, the abortion thing, the climate thing. Thing about induction stoves, Israel, library books, vaccines, pronouns, AK-47, socialism, BLM, CRT, the CDC, DEI, 5G, everything. All of it I did. Nobody, just nothing.
I do like him very much as a performer. You know who I don't like as a performer, Kevin, anymore?
Who?
Jeremy Renner. I have heard from very reliable sources that Jerry Renner is an asshole Like
reliable sources?
When was an asshole before he almost died has always been like a huge asshole.
Oh.
If anyone
Didn't
wants
he
to
get
correct
run
me
over by
on
the
that,
snowcat or something last
he
year?
was doing a tractor and it rolled over on him and he almost died. But that's not what made him an asshole, apparently. So if I'm wrong
did
about
it roll over by remote control?
The tractor knew.
The tractor knew.
TikTok for Business is helping owners like you reach new customers every day.
We saw up to a 10x return on our TikTok shop ads. A few years ago, I started sharing my love for fashion on social media, and Willow Boutique was born. We're not just a place to shop, we've really become a community. TikTok allows us to find more people to have that great experience. I cannot imagine my business without TikTok. It's completely changed my life, and I could not be happier.
Head over to getstarted.tiktok.com/TikTok ads.
DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices, we'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands, or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or at DSW.com. Let us surprise you.
A BetterHelp ad. The new year doesn't need a new you, just some space to let your mind feel lighter. Therapy can help you unpack what's been heavy and bring more clarity, calm, and perspective into 2026. BetterHelp makes it easy to match online with a qualified therapist who can help you see things more clearly and move forward with confidence. See for yourself. Visit BetterHelp.com for 10% off your first month.
All right, let's do what we do. Let's let our listeners know, should they check out Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery? Laura Bricker, thumbs up or thumbs down for the latest in this series?
Yeah, I'm going to go thumbs up. I watched this during the Christmas week of sickness when myself and everyone around me was sick. And I was like, I'm not watching any more Christmas movies. I want to watch something that has to do with murder. Cozy murder, preferably in a little village. Oh, here we go. Our homework this week. This was fun. This was a cozy mystery formula, which we know I love. It was reminiscent of like a quaint English village with themes of religion, a cast of interesting characters. The lighting was done very effectively in this. I liked the use of light, the way that they set the scenes, particularly, light and dark with relation to the church and the themes of like good versus evil. Glenn Close was awesome. I enjoyed her character tremendously. And also Reverend Jud, who doesn't like a hot man of the cloth. So this is a thumbs up from me.
Father, what a waste. What about you, Toby? Thumbs up or thumbs down for Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery?
I thought I saw something on social media about how this is the church where Rick Astley did the video for whatever that Rickroll song
Never
is.
Gonna Give You Up?
Yeah. So I saw something. They're like, I knew I saw that pattern before. And then Ryan Johnson was like, yep. I was like the only person on set who was really psyched for it. So I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, I don't like this at all. All these Knives Out are supposed to be sort of an homage to, Agatha Christie style movies, like cozy movies, that kind of thing. I kind of felt like I don't think I've liked any of them. Maybe the first one. I certainly think the first one's the best. It doesn't really do a lot of the things that you're expecting this kind of movie to do. There's kind of an interesting sort of central conflict or what have you. But the normal things that you expect from the genre, it doesn't do. In some cases, it doesn't do well. In some cases, it just decides not to do it all. It goes on forever. It's like 6 or 7 hours long. And it's not. It's
There's
like
an intermission.
It's like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Popcorn.
But it took me 3 days to get through it. Again, like you'll take a look at the cast list, and a couple people have really good performances, but they spent a lot of money to get these actors to do almost nothing in the actual movie. So anyway, it was kind of a chore to watch, I thought, which isn't really what I'm looking for in entertainment. So that's why I give it a thumbs down.
Kevin Flynn.
I'm a mild thumbs up on this. Didn't hate it. I thought that even though it got kind of muddled towards the end and you really didn't give all of the other suspects a lot to do and to sort of suspect them, I still thought it delivered on a lot of the traditional whodunit criteria. For me, perhaps this is the best of the three Knives Out movies, at least the one that I like the most, and it had much less of Daniel Craig's Benoit Blanc than the others, and it's almost like they're, sliding him away. He was more like a supporting actor here instead of the lead. Great job by Josh O'Connor, who really kind of shines on screen as Father Jud. I found it interesting that when they finally have the traditional summation gathering in the church, that the confession is quite literally a confession. Maybe that was a little too on the nose.
A little on the nose.
I'll just say that does it always achieve Agatha Christie-ness? No, nobody can. But as far as like trying to do Neo Christie, I don't know what you would even call it, but it's as far as like trying to accomplish that, yeah, it kind of does. Not perfect. At times it does kind of go on a bit, but I did enjoy the main characters and watching them do that thing that they do. So that's why I'm a mild thumbs up.
Yeah, so I'm giving this a thumbs up too. Not a huge thumbs up, but definitely a thumbs up. What I liked about it was that it went in the opposite direction of The Residence, which was a thing that a lot of people loved that I hated, which really hammered on the alleged brilliance of the central detective. And we've had that already with Benoit Blanc. Like, we didn't need sort of that demonstration. And I liked that he wasn't in like the first half of it or whatever. I thought that was a really interesting formatic take. I do think it was really ham-fisted with its stuff about MAGA. There's a big theme in here about keeping people scared, that they'll do what you want them to do. And it's just like so overt and silly the way that they sort of do it, that it kind of takes away, I think, from some of the tremendous performances in this. I do think Josh Brolin is great in it. I love Josh O'Connor. I love him so much. And I know that I'm not his type. But if I were, I wouldn't pass it up. Let me put it that way. Anyway, so yeah, it's a mild thumbs up for me. I found it entertaining. I actually thought it didn't feel long at all. So I sort of had the opposite experience of Toby. I thought it went by very quickly for a long film. When it started, I was like, oh my God, this is long. And then it was like 3/4 done. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, mild thumbs up for me. I was entertained by Wake Up Dead Man. So, yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Now it's time for my favorite part of the podcast, a little something I like to call
the crime of the week.
The crime of the week. As we enter a new year, Gallup reissued its poll from 1998, asking Americans for their predictions of life in 2025. Some of the predictions were spot on. Back then, 74% thought gay marriages would be commonplace. 69% believed America would have a black president, and 3/4 believed a new deadly disease would affect the country. Most people doubted other things would come to pass, such as cloning humans or space travel for ordinary people. Other predictions missed the mark. The majority of respondents polled thought that by 2025, we'd have a woman president, cancer would be cured, and people would routinely live to be 100. Not everyone thought the future looked bright. Majorities predicted we'd have less personal freedom, higher crime, poorer environment, and it would be harder to raise children to become good people. In 1998, 60% of Americans were satisfied with the way things were going. Today, that number is 24%. There was one obvious thing the pollsters missed about 2025. When they conducted their survey in 1998, they telephoned all of their respondents on landlines. So, panel, Americans in 1998 weren't so far off. What's your prediction for life in 2050? Laura Bricker.
People are really going to regret getting those 50-year mortgages.
So what do you think, Toby? What's your prediction for life in 2050?
It's hard. I don't really think very much funny stuff is going to be going on in 2050.
Yeah.
I think there's, water scarcity. How about that?
Yes. Yeah, have fun. What about you, Kevin? What's your prediction for life in 2050?
16 more Knives Out movies.
Oh. Well, the good news is, Kevin, we live on the top of a hill now. In 2050, we'll probably be oceanfront. So
cool.
There's that. All right, that's going to do it for us. Laura Bricker, if folks want to reach out to you and say hello on social media, how can they find you there?
You can find me at Laura Bricker on Blue Sky and Instagram.
What about you, Toby? How can you be found online?
I'm at TobyBall NH on Blue Sky and at TobyBall603 on Instagram. I also wanted to say congratulations to my co-host of More Like Ancient Failures, Brandon R. Reynolds, whose podcast, Why Is Amy in the Bathtub, was one of the Atlantic's top 20 podcasts for last year.
Saw that,
Fun.
yeah.
You know who worked on that, right? Our producer, Livy Burdett.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, congratulations to Livy, too. And is part of the Grab Bag collab with our friend Amber.
Incredible. What about you, Kevin? How can you be found online?
I'm at Kevin P. Flynn.
You can follow me everywhere at Reb Lavoie. And please watch Something's Off on YouTube. We're going live. We're going to be doing the show live from now on, I think. Maybe. We'll see how that goes. I encourage you, though, to join our incredible Facebook discussion group. It's our official Crime Writers On group. It's fantastic. Get everything we make at Patreon on patreon.com/partnersincrimemedia. Our theme song was composed and performed by Tyler Gibbons, and our line editor is the wonderful, award-winning Olivia Burdett. The EP of this show is Kevin. This show was recorded in the Caitlin Rogers Project Studio, also known as Studio C, the closet in our New Hampshire basement, where we also confess embarrassing things just to make each other feel uncomfortable. Oh yeah, we absolutely fucking do that. On behalf of all the crime writers,
this way.
Thanks so much for listening. We will catch you later.
And this woman starts going on and on and on about the thing.
How she likes to masturbate in the shower.
Yes. All
the
of
wonderful
that.
Bridget Everett, by the way. A huge fan of hers.
I mean, who doesn't really, Kevin? But anyway, so I'm just teasing.
The shower? I don't do that.
No,
it's convenient to stand up,
I
apparently.
think it's good for men. It's not so great for women.
Yeah.
Partners in Crime Media.